guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this simple smoky eye. I would say it's super easy to recreate and it's also light enough to wear as a daytime look. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So to get started, the first thing I'm going to step into today is my face. I know I usually do my eye makeup first, but today I feel like the eye makeup isn't going to be anything too heavy. So I'm just going to go ahead and start on my face first. So to start out, I'm going to be moisturizing with the Believe Aqua Balm True Cream. That moisturizer feels so good on the skin and it's not really irritating at all. So for primer, the next thing I'm going to be going in with today is the Professional Pearl Primer. I'm just applying a generous amount all over my skin. Okay, realistically, you're supposed to put primer everywhere. I focus my primer on my T-zone area because I feel like those are the areas that need the most protection and the most calming down. So next we're jumping into foundation. I know it's so weird to start with my face. Today I'll be using the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation in the shade Sable. Just applying some onto my brush. I like to focus my foundation where I put my primer, so mainly the T-zone area, and then blend it out towards the edges of my face, just so that I don't have like a whole mask of foundation on. So now that I have an even layer of foundation on, I'm going to be moving on to my concealer. The concealer I'm going to be using today is the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Medium Beige, as always. Just applying that underneath the eyes. I've mentioned this in another video as well. I like to do kind of one eye at a time most days because it does dry really quick. But I love the coverage of this concealer. You can just see the difference on this side versus this side. Remembering once again to dab, not drag. Ooh, that's kind of like, that could be a catchphrase. I like to kind of bring my concealer down to underneath my nose just so I can brighten up that area. And I also bring it to my eyelids sometimes, just to make this area complete. I don't know, it just all comes together for me. So next I'm just placing a little bit on my chin, my nose, and my forehead. What is this? I meant to do a line, but it just kind of came out as a dot. So now I am brightened in the areas where I want to be brightened in. My foundation is a bit of a better match for me now because I know it looks a little bit dark once I place it on because that's sort of like my summer color. But you know, summer's a little bit postponed, if not canceled. So the next thing I'm going to do is bake and get started on my eyeshadow look and then come back to the face for later. I'm going to bake using the Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Powder in Translucent. I'm going in with a Real Techniques sponge and I'm excited to test this out because I actually got it as a sample in my Ipsy bag. I'm really only going to bake under my eyes just because I want to make sure that my face doesn't get any pigment on it from the eye look. I usually don't bake just because I have oily skin, so I use mattifying products, and then the matte products with the powder usually just ends up making me look cakey. So I don't really do it often, but hopefully this works out good. Hopefully this is a good product, so we'll see. So I'm going in with my e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer once again to clean up my brows and start as a sort of eye primer. So I'm just placing this on my eyelid right now, one at a time again because this stuff will be dry before you're done. Bringing it up to my brow to clean it up, even though I haven't really filled it in yet. So now that my eye is primed, I'm going to be going in with my Kylie Jenner Sipping Pretty palette. So I'm starting off with that shade Sipping Pretty and packing it onto my crease. But I'm not really packing it too heavy because this is a natural glam. So I'm blending it out as I go. It's taking everything in me to stay away from this super cute bright pink right here. I just want to pop it all over my eyelid, but we're keeping it natural today. That's what I plan to do for the last 3 videos, and I'm going to do it today. So next I'm going in with this darker brown orangey type color, and that is in the shade Close the Tab. Not blending it upward too much because I don't want a lot of color. I am trying to keep the colors natural. I don't know if you guys can see, but there is some fallout happening onto my face, which is why I'm so grateful that I used that powder, the setting powder, so hopefully I can just take that thing right off because I don't want to have to redo my face. So we have a really nice natural smoke going on. So the last matte color that I'm going to be using from this palette is this nice base color, and that is in the shade Vanilla on Vanilla. I'm just going to take it and focus it on the inner part. I just want to keep the inner corner nice and bright. So lastly, I'm going in with the shade Blackout, which is the black down here, and I'm going to give myself a nice wing. So next I'm using the They're Real Mascara by Benefit Cosmetics. Before we move on, I'm going to finish the other eye off camera, so I'll be right back with that finished. So both eyes are now complete. I'm going to wipe the excess powder off of my under eyes. Wow. I'm actually not mad at this powder. It didn't leave me cakey at all. Left me nice and matte. I don't have any complaints so far. So now that the eyes are pretty much done, I'm going to move on to the lashes and just pop them on really quick before we go on and finish the face. Okay, so while I move on to my brows, ignore this gray line. My lash glue is still drying. Really quick, I'm just going to fill in my brows using the e.l.f. Lock-On Liner and brow cream. Not putting the most effort into my brows today. So now that this area is nice and complete, I'm going to move on to finishing my face. So I'm going to go ahead and start contouring with my Wet n Wild Mega Glow contouring palette in the shade Caramel Toffee. Well, I'm only using the contouring shade today because I have already set my under eyes and everywhere that I feel like brightening. So next I'm going to be using the Pacifica Cherry Gold Highlighter and Blush Palette. So first I'm using the blush. This has a scent to it. It smells really good. Like, I don't know, it just smells good. So next I'm going to jump into this highlighter right here and go ahead and highlight the high points of my face. That's pretty good. Using that same highlighter, I'm going to go ahead and do an inner corner highlight. I'm impressed. I'm also putting it underneath my brows because I'm impressed. Wow, wow, wow. I might have gone a little crazy. But wow. Now I'm going to set everything using my Milani Make It Last setting spray. I'm running low. Well, I'm about to run low. So our last step is to move on to the lips. Today I'm going to be using this Pout On Point lip liner from Pop Beauty. This one is in the shade Risque Rose. I think this lip liner is just going to match the whole color scheme I have going on super well, so let's see. And my last step is lipstick. I'm going to be using a Bella Pierre Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Envy. So 2 last little steps before this look is all complete. I'm going to go back into my Sipping Pretty palette and take that same shade underneath my eyes. I'm also putting Close the Tab underneath. So basically layering the same colors that I put on my lid underneath my eyes. And now for the last step, I'm going to be applying mascara to my bottom lashes. So this is the final look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye!